Hi, I'm Scott Marthaler. Welcome to Fearsome Critters, a series where we share new stories about fictitious creatures from American folklore. Before we start, though, take a moment to subscribe below. Our fearsome critter today is the chimeric and dangerous Snallygaster, found in the wilds of Maryland. Our story is narrated by Zach Campbell and illustrated by Areej, Siddiqui and Rafael, Olivieri. Stick around afterwards for more information about this fearsome critter.
It's a dark, cloudy night as you stumble home, the moon peeking out occasionally through the thick cloud cover. You're drunk, tired, your feet are sore, but you console yourself with the thought that you did the right thing by walking instead of driving, even though you know in your heart that you would have drunkenly drove back to your rental if the car had started. It didn't, and instead of asking a fellow guest to drive you back in your altered state, you figured it'd be a good night for a walk, a decision you find yourself now regretting as you wander out of town. As you trudge down the road, you reminisce. While you weren't originally from the area, your mother was. You remember coming here every summer to visit family while growing up, but once you left for college, those trips became more infrequent. Now it's been almost a decade since you last visited. It was your cousin's wedding invitation that finally brought you back. You always got on well with them, and with fond memories of causing a ruckus in the Maryland woods on sunny summer days, this was the perfect opportunity to cut loose and reconnect with family. The wedding and the reception were top-notch. Food was good, conversation flowed, and most importantly, there was an open bar, which you quickly took advantage of. Hours later, when you emerged from the venue, it was clear you had enjoyed yourself perhaps too much. Now it was a different story. Tired and alone, with the numbness of the liquor wearing off, you regret your decision to get a rental so far out of town. This quick walk had become a lonesome trudge. As you walk down the road, a large shadow passes over your head, blocking out the moonlight, but you chalk it up to the passage of clouds. For some reason, though, it brings to mind stories your grandparents told you about a fearsome beast known as the Snallygaster that was meant to roam around this part of Maryland. You recall your grandfather telling you how the winged monster hunted its prey at night, and the memory sends a shiver traveling down your spine. As a kid, the stories terrified you, giving you nightmares you'd wake up screaming from. It got so bad your mother chastised her parents for telling them to stop mentioning this monster at all. Your wander down memory lane isn't without consequence. In the darkness and shadows, you don't recognize where you are. It appears you've gotten turned around and are now quite lost. You feel uneasy as you turn down another road, as if something is watching you, maybe even stalking you. A train whistle rises in the distance, seemingly getting closer. And funny, that's the first train you've heard since you've been here. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and you feel the urge of fight or flight rising. You look up and take in the moon as it emerges from behind the clouds, and you see something large pass in front of it. Not a bird, almost draconic? Your rational brain tries to calm you. It was a trick of the eyes. But animal instinct kicks in, and that was definitely real. You decide to run a bit. Maybe the exercise will help to calm your nerves, but instead it pushes the panic button, and your mind slips into the terror of the night. Shadows cast by the trees growing increasingly menacing. You hear the flap of wings, and as you turn to look back, you stumble and fall. The creature misses its attack. You quickly get back to your feet, glance up to see it wheeling about in the sky, looking directly at you with one baleful eye in the center of its beaked face. In your panic-stricken state, you smell alcohol? With no time to process anything, your legs take control and you run straight down the road, no thought of heading into the woods and maybe the safety of the trees. Despite running as fast as you can, you are no match for the beast as it dives directly down in front of you. You have just a moment to take in the entirety of the thing. A large, winged, half-bird, half-reptile-like creature, its shiny beak and razor claws snatch at you, slashing into your skin. The last thing you see before the darkness takes you, the tentacles shooting out of the creature's mouth. As the sun rises the following morning, it isn't long before your body is discovered. At least, what's left of it. A corpse slashed and torn, but drained of all blood and dropped from a significant height. The Snallygaster has struck again.
The hills and forests of central Maryland are purportedly the home of the fearsome Snallygaster. But the origins of this creature actually come from across the Atlantic, brought over by German immigrants to the colonies in the 1730s. They called their version Schnellergeist, which translates to quick ghost. It's from the German that we get the word Snallygaster. In the Old World, the Schnellergeist was more akin to a demon with bird-like features than the draconic being we know today. As time marched on, the Snallygaster took on more of the defining characteristics that we find today, turning it into this weird chimeric beast. But along with that came something else. The stories themselves shifted in their tone. Originally, these were stories to scare naughty children, but by the late 1800s, they became a whole lot more racist. Their victims, no longer those naughty children, but instead almost exclusively black people attacked at night, an allegory for sundown towns. In 1909, the Snallygaster legend stepped onto the national stage. In Middletown, Maryland, the local newspaper, the Valley Register, published a series of articles claiming the beast was terrorizing the region. It quickly became a sensation, and soon other papers were publishing stories about the beast as well. At one point, the Smithsonian Institute offered a reward for the skin of a Snallygaster, and no less than Theodore Roosevelt considered postponing his African big game trip to instead tromp through the hills of Maryland to hunt this elusive beast. But behind the scenes, it was all an elaborate hoax created to drum up interest in the paper. In various tellings of the Snallygaster legend, you will find allusions to its love of alcohol and its penchant for raiding people's stills that they've hidden in the hills of Maryland. I thought that love of alcohol was an interesting little thing, and I made it the key factor in how it stalks its prey. As for appearance, our beast stays pretty true to what you're going to find today. A weird, cyclopean dragon thing. The Snallygaster legend is alive and well in the 21st century. It continues to be a cultural touchpoint in Maryland. You can visit the American Snallygaster Museum, or enjoy some Snallygaster blended whiskey, or attend Snallygaster Fest, an outdoor beer festival in Washington, D.C. The creature has made it into the Harry Potter universe as a fantastic magical beast, and you can encounter it in the video game Fallout 76 as a science experiment gone horribly wrong. But if you ever find yourself in the Maryland hills, beware. If you decide to stumble home after a night of carousing, walking along the lonely roads, you may find yourself hunted by the dreaded Snallygaster. Thanks for watching. Before you go, click those like and subscribe buttons below and leave a comment and tell us about your favorite thing about the Snallygaster. I'm Scott Thaler. Make sure to join me next time for more stories about fearsome critters.